Yeah, can you talk about the rivalry between Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan? From reading your book, it seemed almost like it was had like a little bit of a Cold War feel of it because they didn't it didn't seem like as if they necessarily had hated each. I mean, I guess I should say it was brewing, but it never got to a point of like Magic Johnson. I mean, Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas per se, but then they were able to find it through just overtime playing in the Dream Team. And you also think about Magic from the standpoint, he was the original modern kind of like player empowerment players that we think about too. I think
Right.
like Magic kind of handed that off to Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan obviously went to the air with it. But I think so many things when we talk about contracts and having ownership in teams and all those things, Magic was starting to really have, and then you have Michael come through, and then they have this kind of, like I said, like this Cold War of a sense amongst each other.
Well, when Magic came along, he certainly had Magic and Dr. J both had amazing charisma. They weren't the only ones, but they had it. They had tremendous charisma. Dr. J was incredible. And Pat Williams, the former GM, the late Pat Williams now, but I interviewed him for the book. And he talked about how hard it was to sell tickets for the Sixers when Julius was there. Julius, of course, came and out of the University of Massachusetts and went to the ABA to the New York Nets. But Julius had all this charisma. He could have done incredible things, and he did. He was very wise and managed his affairs very well. But the shoe industry hadn't exploded then. It and tennis shoe cash, as they called it, was not a big amount of money for the players. And even in 79, when Magic came along, Magic got the idea and would tell everybody that he was offered a Nike deal like Michael would be offered. That didn't happen. It was not. It's his wishful thinking. Poor Magic, he finally gets to be a billionaire. And I say that like, no, none of us would ever even get close to that club. But I mean, he really works and strategizes, and his business strategist is a black guy, and they're going and doing these. It's not like they're walking in with a bunch of white guys in suits. That wasn't how it happened. This was Magic's strategizing, his beliefs about preferences of people who had long been not just disrespected as a people, they'd been disrespected as a market. And Magic understood that, and he had felt that since he was like 12 years old. And so they had a plan. And Peter Goober, who owns a big chunk of the Warriors and big chunk, and he ultimately ended up being Magic's business partner, but he was head of Sony with all its theaters when Magic and his business manager went in and said, "You're missing a huge market." And of course, Magic's theaters blew up and he was able to sell them. And, seeing, there's an academic that I quoted, a black artist from New York who went to see Black Panther in the Magic Johnson Theater. And what a moment that was. And it's a cultural moment, it's a moment in my book. Um, and Magic really worked hard to make his billion. And right when he became a billionaire, I was called to go on the BBC to talk about it. And Michael had become a three billionaire. And so those guys, and I hate to say it, one of the favorite characters in this story is Dr. Charles Tucker.
Oh yeah.
And he really did a lot of important things, but he really screwed up at the 1984 All-Star game. 85, I'm sorry, in Indianapolis. He was doing too much talking, and he all the stuff about the freeze out, it all went to things he was telling the writers. And um, you could debate all day long whether it was a freeze out. I, I'm pretty sure there was. It wasn't a major deal, perhaps, except with this. You're messing with the competitive psyche of Michael Jordan.
That's all he
You
needed.
you have unleashed the dogs of hell, and and all the nuclear power you could give any competitive moment. And that really, this is a long answer to your question. I apologize,
I don't
Kyle.
really,
But that really unleashed all of this negative mojo because Magic was included in because Dr. Tucker represented Magic and Magic and Isaiah and Mark McGuire, a generation of people. And, he had some choice words, and that basically led to the ending, excuse me, of his long-term relationship with Magic.
yeah.
And Magic went on to have Lon Rosen as an agent, and it really did engender a lot of negativity. But I think a lot of that is really the fumes of the hyper competitive personalities involved. I think that they keep score a lot of ways. And one of those is, especially after Michael got the deal he got.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.